everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? My name is Doctor. How you doing today? It's always a pleasure to come. We would say to come in the name of Allah. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. To come in the name of Allah. To come in in the truth of Allah, not in a religion, but in a unified reality of those who know and not those who pretend, and those who do not care, and those who use technology to fool others. It's so many things that I have to tell you. First of all, I'm doing a report now on this particular Myrtle Hilliard Davis. If you know anybody in St. Louis area, and they have 3 clinics. They got one on Dr. Martin Luther King. They got one on Witter Avenue, and they have one on Riverview Drive. And it started off as a black. I'm going to keep this up. It started out as a black health center, and then with misappropriation of funds that are asked, they don't tell. So it's misappropriation of funds when you go into the negative of $3 million. So then they had to have some key partnerships that went outside of the community, and now it's a different setup. It's no longer a black community, which the people should know that this is no longer a black clinic, and it's not giving any alternatives to natural remedies for healing. And my questions to this particular Myrtle Hilliard Davis Center is what are your statistics? You say you've been in the neighborhood for 45 years. What are your statistics on the people you've healed? Are they still living? What percentage is healed and well? And why have you not given the community an alternative of natural healing, of natural remedies, instead of pharmaceuticals, which gives side effects, many side effects, and some side effects are more harmful than the actual reason they take in the medicine. So that's Myrtle Hilliard Davis comprehensive thing. And I've been there, and I'm going to read a couple. After 5 or more years going to Myrtle Hilliard Davis Center, it's time for you to take a view of my testimony, my analysis of this business, who claims that they're in it for health and healing when actually it's just a business. And you can tell that it's a business because of the environment that they have, the level of the noise, the crampedness of the space, the inadequacy of the people, the doctors. We're not even talking about the receptionists, because they more or less just take your money on a sliding fee scale, or insurance plan, or co-fee, things of that nature. And they're very hospitable. You know, the hospitality is good, so you can enter. Once you have submitted your forms, paid your co-fee, then it's a different attitude with the other receptionists at the actual intake of the doctor's office, which is basically the tan section, the blue section, the red section, or downstairs hospital. So these things that I say doesn't really concern people, because this type of neglect only goes for those who are not feeling well. And once a person is feeling well, they're off and running, they'll care. And this is seen, you know, by the neighbors of this particular clinic. You have one called Friendly Temple. I believe that they have a capacity of 10,000 people, and is sitting there empty, you know, the majority of the weeks, while this clinic is cramped with inadequacy, with doctors who are tired and old and have not learned the new technology or the new remedies, or even to fill out the forms. By that I say I went to the doctor to get an examination, and I presented him a form that he needed to fill out. This was last year, 2013. The man he was not able to fill out the form. I gave them instructions, it was 3 pages, on how to fill out the form, and he told me I'll have to come back tomorrow to pick up the form, the signed form. I came back, he still had not filled out the form properly. So it took about a week to get the form properly done. That was 2013. Now the form stated that it could be for 2 years, it could be for 3 months, 6 months, a year, or 2 years. Now actually I'm trying to get this done for 2 years, because we know time flies. But he insisted that he wanted to see me the next year so I can get another physical. Now, and I believe that this is to keep their stats up, because not only do a clinic or a hospital want to make money, but they want to break they want to break last year's rules to make more money. So they want to give you another appointment the next year, and then he wants to give me a referral to another doctor, right, for the eye doctor. Okay, so this is showing you that it's a scam. All I want to do is get this form filled. He couldn't even do that. He couldn't even take the time out to fill out the form. It's just reading and an application. Okay, this is a physical that I paid for, or was paid for by my insurance, but nevertheless they got money for this procedure. They did not do the procedure, put me on back hold for a week. 2013. Now 2014 I got to come back. 2014, trying to see the same doctor. He's not there to give me another doctor. Okay, but before I went there on a Friday, which was the 31st, which was actually what they would call Halloween. There was no doctors in the whole building to do the physical, so they told me to come back Monday. I came back that Monday. Now, that's my car fare. They don't care how I get there. Get there, okay? It's not a perfect world. Goes back to the clinic. I get this doctor. Her name was Dr. Scatterfield. Now this Dr. Scatterfield, when I got to the office, he told me to sit down right in the waiting area. Sat down in the waiting area. She had 2 visitors before me. One went in there about 15 minutes, and the next one in there, and she came right out. Her name was Hall. The reason I know that her name was Hall, because she said it a couple of times. She said, tell that lady I'm not giving her what she wants. Okay, so I don't know if that particular Hall went in there just to ask her for some fake prescriptions or whatever. But it seems like it is that type. But anyway, nevertheless, always more. Just for you to know. So they told me to come on in, the nurse, and she was a substitute nurse from the pediatrics, but she was taken in the red section of this clinic, Myrtle Hill Davis, on the second floor. So I go, and she want to do my vital statistics, blood pressure, weight stuff. So she says get on the scale. So now I had an overcoat, I had a suit jacket on, and a suit with my shoes on. Oh, don't matter, just get on the scale. I thought she was gonna do some mathematical deductions for the shoes, everything I had, my wallet, all that, you know, it adds up to more pounds. But it didn't matter. So she weighed me in as 222. So she said, okay, the doctor will be in here shortly. So I waited in the office, and I waited, and I seen somebody else. The door was open, and the doctor was in another room, and I can see into the door, right, and I can see her sitting right in the corner, and not to notice at that particular time, but she was sitting at that time in a makeshift desk from something that looked like a utility cabinet with a laptop on there, and she was using the drawer that you pull out and had papers in, and she was writing it all cramped up, looking really crazy, right? Okay, people got issues. So anyway, I waited. She had a meeting with an employee for about 15 minutes. Alright, the reason I knew it was employee, he had on the employee shirt, she closed the door, and then she just seemed like she started changing. She went back out, and she greeted another lady, but she had told the secretary, I'm not giving Hall anything. She shouldn't even be out there waiting for me, because I'm not giving her nothing. Very, you know. So anyway, she had another visitor. The lady had brought her child to see her, so she entertained that company about brief 5 minutes. You know, oh, how you doing, this and that. The lady said she had some Christmas toys, or toys before Christmas program or something. She said that she didn't want to deal with that, but she referred it to another doctor. So she went back in there. She went back into the office. Now this is like 20 minutes going now, and she started texting on her private phone. She started texting, and I can see her out my door through her office. She's texting, sitting down texting at this little, like I said, it was a utility cabinet that she made a makeshift desk at her, right? So she texted about 10-15 minutes, texting or surfing the net or whatever. She was on her private phone. The reason I know it's a private phone because she had a computer, and it looked like a medical computer, you know, an office computer for her business, and you know, for the clinic. And then she had her own cell phone that she was texting. And I could see her. I look at the door, I could see her texting. Right? I did take a snapshot of it also. So anyway, yeah, I took a picture of it. So anyway, when she calls me, and she's supposed to come and introduce herself, you know, and then if she wanted me to go to another office, then she yells out, "Who's waiting in the room?" And there was nobody to answer her, so I said, "It's me, right, Mr. Derek Wade." So she says, Okay. So then she still was texting. About 5 more minutes after that, she calls me and, you can come on in here. Alright, you know, no pleasant, no nothing. Okay, so anyway, I goes in the office, and I'm looking, you know, you look your environment, you just scan around. And I see she has a desk. I see it's cluttered up. I see all her shopping bags and coats, and it's just, the office is a mess. So now I'm getting a little leery, you know. I'm seeing her at this desk, and she's sitting there looking really crazy, you know, because you're a doctor. That don't mean you have the right state of mind. So I'm looking at her, I'm saying, well, why is she on this desk, cramped up, writing inside the drawer, like you will pull out a drawer and writing, don't have no room to do it, all hushed up, hair matted, right? Looked like she hadn't combed it for about 2 weeks, right? And asking me, what are you here for? So I said, well, I'm here to get my certification, right, for this driver's license. And she said, well, we don't do that. I said, well, I did it last year, and they told me to come back this year to recertify, and I did it with Mr. Spearman. Well, I don't do that. You know, you're supposed to go to the DOT. I said, well, ma'am, if you look at the form, right, it says that anybody can do it. You can be a nurse, and you can do it. You can be a chiropractor, and you can do it. And it's like anybody can do it. You just have to learn how to fill out the form, and here are the instructions. Oh, she was pissed. She was pissed. So she knows that she was, first of all, she was trying to get rid of me. She couldn't get rid of me. So now said, well, if I can't get rid of you, see, this is what she said, I will do it, but you will not pass. You will still go to the Department of Transportation to get it done. Which, if that wasn't it, you have to go to the doctor. So anyway, she just rambled. So I told her, look, I said, sometimes, I'm trying to help her now. I said, sometimes you've been working, and sometimes it's change and expansion. You're in a comfort zone, and sometimes the body, the mind, don't want to get out of it. You don't want to learn how to do this, so you're telling me to go somewhere else. I said, that's not the way it's supposed to go. You're supposed to be able to enlarge your thinking. Instead of saying what you can't do, you learn how to. Now you got something new. You're not stagnated in life, and you make an expansion, and you becoming who you claim that you are. Oh, she hit the fan. She all of a sudden, she took the papers, snatched the papers from me, started typing. For about 10 minutes, she just kept on. I said, this lady, she ain't said nothing to me about what she's doing, or, you know, how you look and type and say something. She just, okay. I found out what that was. She said I was irate and belligerent, which means that I was demanding and loud, similar to that, something like that. So anyway, she comes and she looks in my ear. She didn't put a sleeve in the thing. You know, you put a sleeve when you look at somebody's ear. She got my heart. You know, she didn't wash her hands before. She touched my head and around, asked me did it hurt around here and stuff like that. And basically, all her notes that she took about me was the notes from last year. So that means that she copied and pasted my life. So really, I could have called in and they could have sent me through the mail, because she didn't really do anything. So that's the complaint. Her name was Scatterfield. Her name was Scatterfield. Scatterfield. And I'll be talking a little bit more about this. I will definitely be talking a little bit more about this. This was last year's thing, and as you can see by the checks, everything was good. Let's see, this was last year's physical exam. No problems. Healthy male. That was last year's. So I had to go this year. So what I'm saying about Myrtle Hillick Davis, they need to have a system of ethics for their employees, for their doctors. Because you're a doctor, you're not better than the people that you serve. There's other issues about the clinic that it's going to ongoing series. I'm trying to do about 19 different things, and then I'm going to leave it alone and hope that they will have some type of improvement. But I will leave this on because this is just an example of the many other clinics on the continent. So this is not just because of this particular area. This is an example for all of the other clinics. Take your time, learn about the new developments. Don't feel that you the elite because you have that. Because as I noticed amongst the employees of the clinic, right, is that they're obese. We're not saying fat or chubby. We're talking about they're unhealthy. We're talking about they're out there smoking cigarettes. We're talking about, they're probably drinking. You can see the effects of alcohol. You can see the effects of their lifestyle. How can you work in a health clinic and be unhealthy? Why? What are you doing? And the reason is, when people have a job and they put in that 8 hours, and they go home and they come back and they put in that 8 hours, and that 8 hours don't turn into a 24-hour helping to find out new remedies, to find out new ways of service, to find out how they can accommodate themselves and be a part of it. They're using it just to get money. Their presence is a means to a way of them to get their desires, or it could be to pay their bills. But the right concept of us as a community, a common unity, is not present. When you have a center that's small and it's cramped and the noisy, and it's just the energies is not in a healthy environment, that brings on, and if you're sick, it will amplify your sickness, multiply your sickness. It doesn't give you a place where you can start the healing process. They give you medicines with side effects. That's not good. You see, so like I said, I will be making more analysis of many other things that I have encountered since I've left and came into what we call the dunya. Some people call it the grave, some people call it the dunya, but came out of the formation of the righteous to observe, as a scout, to observe, for the betterment and the healing of the world. And I say peace to all. Dr. York, how you doing? I'm okay.